I'm gonna wait for people to come in. Supposedly we're streaming. Supposedly we're live right now. We'll wait for the chat to see if we're actually live. See if it popped up. We're gonna be talking about BTC. We'll also be talking about some of the DeFi projects I'm bullish on. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Right now I'm checking on my phone to make sure that we are live. See what's going on as far as that goes. So we are live. I appreciate that. Those who are tapped in, I should turn this down. All right, cool. So we're live right now. Those tuning into the live stream here now or later, appreciate it. If you guys can smash the like button, subscribe, that'd be awesome. Also, if you're part of my TG group, if you guys can post that group inside the TG, that'd be greatly appreciated. We're gonna wait for some more people to pull up. We got one person watching. Go ahead and grab this link and potentially share this around as well. Get this going. So we are live right now. We'll be talking about the Bitcoin rainbow chart. We're going to be talking about projects. I even got a Matthew Perry X post open because I want to see how you guys feel about some of the things he said about Sheeb. We'll be talking about Fidelity as far as what they're talking about when it comes to Bitcoin, the spot ETF, and what's going on with that. I'm just going to wait for the room to fill up a little bit more than this. We got 2 people in here. Appreciate it. Let's put a share and like this. I'm gonna be dropping some gems. We're gonna be talking about DeFi projects. We're gonna be talking Vegas Inu token, PMPY. We're gonna be talking, of course, the FEG token. You guys know I rock with them really hard. But we're gonna be talking about this rainbow chart and Bitcoin breaking over 44K right now, and that's what we see happening. So right now I'm on the daily chart. I'll most likely remove some of the support and resistance so we can see exactly what's going on. The 200 moving average is something to always keep in mind when we're looking at Bitcoin. But let's go ahead and let's just wait for this to fill up a little bit more. We got some more people. Okay, we got somebody. Dave, what's up, Dave? Love to see you in here. If you guys can share this, let people know. Those who are tapped in, like I said, we're gonna be talking about the rainbow chart, which is important. We'll talk about Fidelity. We got this rainbow chart, this breakdown. We'll talk about Bitcoin's price at 44,000. We're gonna be talking about the Vegas Inu token, how it's pumping up. We're gonna be talking about the PMPY token as well. We'll talk a little bit as well about Matthew Perry. I never like to talk bad about Sheeb because I rock with the community. I don't always agree with what's going on as far as their team and stuff like that. But seeing Matthew Perry, if you guys can give him a follow, subscribe to his channel, let him know I said what's up. I do like his stance on putting some pressure on the Sheeb army. I never like to fund communities or stuff like that because I want people to win at the end of the day. But I do like the pressure. If you guys can leave me some comments down below and let me know if you guys would like to see a reaction video to one of the videos Matthew Perry put out that kind of left me kind of shook yesterday because he was putting that pressure on the Sheeb team and as far as how he felt about those burns. So that's why I got his page open because we could potentially touch on that a little bit. But we got FEG token. Let's go ahead and open up a FEG X page as well. Let's go ahead and open that up. Shout out to Matthew Perry. Like I said, we'll most likely do a reaction video, see how that does. I'm going to react to his video on how he feels about the Sheeb because I don't want to FUD that community. I love that community, but I have to admit, that's why you guys never see a lot of Sheeb videos on my channel because I don't want to FUD a community, but I don't always agree with the WEF, with some of the things that the team has done as far as the true original Ryoshi dream. So if you guys can share this, I see we got 6 people in here. Much love, appreciate it. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna take a sip of this fantastic coffee. I got a big jug of coffee for everybody today, so because we're gonna talk in this live stream, we're gonna talk about this BTC rainbow chart, and we're gonna start doing live streams. So we're gonna build this up. So right now we got Bitcoin at just under 44K. You know what? I can draw all these lines over again. Let's go ahead and put on the weekly just to see what we're looking at before I erase it. And we'll do the 200 moving average. This is a Wyckoff distribution pattern, okay? This is something that if you guys go back in my old videos when I was talking about BTC, this is how we knew that it was in. Look at this down here, this green dot. This is on the weekly chart. We're still climbing. We still have room. And we see that resistance at that 45K. But this Wyckoff distribution pattern is something that happened on top. This extra pullback right here, this area that we pulled all down through this section, that's Sam Bankman, the Voyagers, the Celsius, the Luna, all these crashes. But I believe that we were basically going to stay around this 19 mark. So it should have been one more right here. 1 second. Yeah, this is a real live stream. No prepping, none of this. We're just gonna do it raw and uncut. So around this 19 mark, because we always know prior resistance is future support, and I've been doing crypto since 2017. So I remember this area right here. This is 2020 Bitcoin when it reached that, you know, that 20K, that 19K. That was an all-time high of the past. This is the perpetual because I am doing some futures trading. There are some links down below that you guys can use to tap in with BYDFi. There's some money on the table. You guys can either use that, learn how to trade. I also have a link to the Moneybags Mansion in most of my videos. If you guys have that link to the Moneybags Mansion, TG, if you guys can post it inside the chat, that'd be epic for me. But basically, Wyckoff distribution pattern. We can get rid of these because these always show up once again. But something I want to show everybody. Let's just get rid of this stuff. We'll talk about this Bitcoin chart. We'll talk about the Bitcoin rainbow chart. Let's just clean this up because this is for the shorter time frames. Some of the trades that we're doing. Let's just clean this up. Probably could have cleaned it all up, but I want to keep those arrows right there. All right, and then we'll get into that rainbow chart. We're gonna go ahead. Well, okay, we're gonna drop this down. This is the extraordinary. We're gonna take this off. We're just gonna add a moving average, and we're gonna add these are my favorites. Write these down. These are fire right here. Let's just put EMA moving average, right? And then we're gonna make this the 200 moving average. Go into the settings. This is one that is respected constantly. Whenever we break above this, it gets bullish. Make this yellow. Then we're gonna get into that rainbow chart, but we need to identify this first. So we can see what we're talking about, where we're at. Okay, this is because it's on the perpetual. But as far as we see it, usually, if you guys set it up on yours, let's go down to the daily, see what we got. Okay, here we go. So we can see on the daily chart how this 200 moving average is so important. Whenever we're underneath it, if you're wondering what's going on with Bitcoin, if we're above this 200 moving average, it is bullish. Notice that when we get underneath it, this was that bear market. This is where we had trouble nonstop. When we got above it, then we made a support. We kept climbing. We're still above this 200 moving average, and we had just peeled away. And that's where this Bitcoin rainbow chart comes into play right here. And we're going to talk about how to read this, look at it, and whatnot like that. Like, subscribe, share the video if you guys like. So what is the Bitcoin rainbow chart indicator? The rainbow chart is a long-term valuation tool for Bitcoin. It uses logarithmic growth curve to forecast a potential future price direction of Bitcoin. It overlays rainbow color bands on top of the logarithmic growth curve channel in an attempt, right? Not financial advice. This is used as a guide to highlight market sentiment at each rainbow color stage as price moves through it, therefore highlighting potential opportunities to buy or sell. Remember, do your own due diligence. Hit me up. We'll talk about this more and more, this Bitcoin rainbow chart. This is definitely going to give you guys an edge. As with all charts on this website, the rainbow chart is not investment advice. So basically, letting you know, not financial advice, okay? How to interpret the rainbow chart. Because Bitcoin is still relatively young asset class, its price movements are highly volatile, which is a good thing. There's always this like forecast, this cloud of volatility being a bad thing while everybody's racking up so much money. Don't go into that mentality that volatility is a bad thing, okay? If it's bad, that's because you're not doing it right, and we need to switch up the way you're doing it. Volatility is a good thing, okay? And there's always like this negative, cloud above volatility, but that's where the money is made. Although the macro timeline Bitcoin is being adopted, which we can see is general upward price movement, it does not experience market cycles. During these market cycles, the price of Bitcoin can increase parabolically and also drop very quickly. It also has very high daily volatility, which investors need to be aware of because that's where the money's made, all right? The Bitcoin rainbow chart highlights where BTC price is in those cycles. We're going to talk about the halving as well. Big shout out to everybody in this watching this video with me right now and sharing this as well. This is pretty epic. So, all right, so we got the Bitcoin rainbow chart highlights where BTC price is in those cycles and provides a viewpoint on investor strategy. As mentioned earlier in this article, this chart, as its legend labels, what does it say? And its legend labels are for entertainment purposes and not to consult investment advice. Okay, so another not financial advice thing. So fall further down the rabbit hole. The first example of the logarithmic regression curve for Bitcoin was created by Bitcoin Talk user Trololo. This is our original chart, which shows how BTC price could potentially evolve over time using the long growth regression analysis. So this is what it looks like. Notice it is on the daily chart. And something we'll keep that in mind on the daily chart. Look at this curve, right? Over the years. Now let's go up here and look at where we're at. Right now we're talking about the colors that we're in. It says we're right in the blue. We also notice, okay, let's see what I just did. We might have to refresh this. Let's refresh this really quick to see if, so I can start back over. Wanted to show you the halving. Okay, so the Bitcoin halving is right here. Look at prior history. Anytime there was this huge uptick, right? All-time high at $30. $30. Crazy. Let that sink in for a second. $30. That's what it was at. Then it pulled back into this blue zone. The halving happens. And again, it pumped all the way up to an all-time high of $909. And we were acting brand new. Same thing, pulled back. Then the Bitcoin halving happened again. Right here. Started to climb up. The all-time high. This time, I remember this time. I was all involved in this time. Look at this. It was squeezing people. 3,000 something. And we were still acting brand new. Pulled back into the blue. Consolidated, went up, came back down. I remember this like it was yesterday. Again, Bitcoin halving. And what happened? Started to pump up. I remember this as well. This is where we get all the way up to this. Actually, this is the last one right here. So this was the end of it. This Bitcoin halving. We start rising up. 38,000, 40,000. And this is on a 24-hour. If we go on the daily, we'll be able to see the all-time high. But right now, we're going ahead into that same zone again, where that Bitcoin halving's coming up. And if you look, as this curve continues to happen, if you look at the prices on the right, look at where we're at. Look at where the buying opportunities at. We're going right back towards those all-time highs in the green zone. But anytime Bitcoin went in the blue, and if you can hold after the Bitcoin halving, you had an exponential parabolic run. We're in that blue again. Are you going to wait till you get into the green to buy at the 84,000? Are you going to be selling when it's all the way at the red? Right now, we're currently in that baby blue. So we got the first sale. Then we got buy. We got the accumulation zones. We got still cheap. We got the, we got the hodl. We got the sell, seriously sell, maximum bubble territory. So these are some of the things that we can expect with Bitcoin's price, right? Let's go ahead into the next little tweet and see what else we got right here. I had some things pulled up. We're going to check out some other projects as well. For those who are Bitcoiners and love Bitcoin, we got some DeFi projects we're also going to talk about. This is not going to be the longest live stream in the world, but just want to break into that, doing some live streams early in the morning. So a faster recovery than previous cycles. If the current price rally marks the start of a new and prolonged bull market, the recovery will be significantly quicker than the previous cycle. There are rational arguments for the recovery being faster than the past cycle. The 2014 to 16 bear market spent 1,178 days at a drawdown from the November peak, while 2017 was 1,092 days, 1,100 almost days onto the drawdown from its December peak. The current drawdown has lasted 757 days. So we see this decline in how long these bull markets, how long that drawdown is going to actually be, and when that bull market's going to be ready. So neither of the past cycles saw institutional demand comparable to the current, with major financial institutions both participating in the space and vocally vouching for BTC in public. So that's an anomaly. It's a little bit different because we got ETFs in there, right? So in 34 days, US ETFs will receive their final verdict, and the market shows considerable demand to accumulate exposure ahead of the anticipated launch. Let's like and retweet this. This is great information right here. Let's look at this chart really quick. This is what it's looking like. So look how long it took for us to actually peak the other times, and right now what it's looking like. You know, we're literally moving a lot faster. These are the 2013, 2017, and 2021. So it was 1,100 was the peak, 1,900 was this one, 69 was the last one, And on the bearish, we're probably looking at easily 80, 120 on the bearish side. Conservative, we're looking at 120, 160. Bullish, we're looking into that 200. Who knows, right? I did a video on the comparisons of Bitcoin and the potential it could have when gold turned into ETF. It went on an 8-year super cycle, and potentially the same thing could happen. My bad on hitting the mic. Potentially the same thing could happen as far as Bitcoin's ETF doing the same thing. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's see what else we got drawn up right here. Shout out to everybody up in here. This is that rainbow chart once again. I highly suggest, right, not financial advice, you guys get familiar with this rainbow chart. It has proven itself time and time again. This rainbow chart is showing us that we're in that zone. You couple that with the increased talk, the style of the sentiment over Bitcoin right now is talked about way more publicly, and with the ETF stuff all over. It's going to happen because we have stuff like Fidelity, vouching for Bitcoin. So Fidelity held a meeting with SEC about spot Bitcoin fund, submitted presentation about ETF workflows. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's check this out. This is all juicy information. Make sure if you guys are not yet tapped in that TG that I have, the Money Bags Mansion, you guys are going to love that. There's going to be a lot of value up inside there. So Fidelity held a quick meeting with Security and Exchange Commissions on December 7th about the proposed spot Bitcoin ETF. The asset manager on Friday filed and assembled S1 form with the SEC for the spot fund. And stay tuned to the end of the video. We're going to be talking about Vegas Inu token. We're going to be talking about FEG token and PMPY token, some DeFi tokens as well. I know this video might be put out for algorithmic reasons to the Bitcoin people, but want to check out DeFi as well. So asset management, Giant Fidelity held the meeting with the Securities and Exchange Commissions December 7th. So we went over that. Fidelity provided the regulator with a presentation entitled Bitcoin ETF workflow. So quote unquote on that included slides that detailed in-kind creation and redemption models. Arbitrage and hedge are more efficient with physical creations. So arbitrage is something we'll talk about on the channel, and we'll talk about how to do that as well, okay? That's going to be a different video, different topic. The presentation stated self-clearing ETF market maker firms can facilitate efficient arbitrage in acting as agency AP or non-self-clearing ETF market maker firms with crypto affiliates. Allowing for physical creation and redemption is critical to enhance trading efficiency and secondary market pricing for participants. We're going to have a whole video on arbitrage. I was doing it without even knowing what the word was when I first started crypto in 2017, and looking into the Rothschild's family. That's part of one of the ways that they got all their riches was doing arbitrage through banks and the fluctuation of prices from one bank to the next one. So we'll do a separate video on that. If you guys want to see a video on that, leave some comments down below. Hashtag arbitrage down below. So we got Bitcoin's price has surged over the past weeks as the market has anticipated what is going to happen, what could be the final steps towards a decision from the SEC about application. It's been reviewing for proposal spot ETFs amid multiple amendments to filing and memos about meetings. Regulators, and asset managers have seemed to be focusing on the technical aspect of how the proposed fund would work if approved. So creating and redeem language includes both in kind and cash still. Bloomberg intelligence analyst James so-and-so on X earlier Friday commenting about an amending filing for Van X proposed spot ETF. So that's another ETF right there, Bitcoin ETF, looking more and more like everyone will leave the opportunity in their S1s, but 19B for approvals may be allowed cash creates. So there's a lot of literature up in there that sounds like, like it's meant to twist us up a little bit, but we're going to keep going through this at least to start. So we're going to be talking about all the stuff that they're mentioning as soon as these ETF goes live, because they will go live. But let's check the rest of this out and then we'll continue. So we got here, here's key disclosure on this workflow. Note, registers, broker, dealer, and titles do not touch the coin in any workflow. so and so, president of the advisory firm, the ETF store, wrote on X. That's clearly the SEC concern. So we'll look. Actually, let's check this out as well. We got BlackRock meeting November 20th, meeting with the SEC, BlackRock, about its proposal about Bitcoin ETF. The asset manager submitted a presentation about revised in-kind model design. So this is something that we're going to study right here. Revise this in-kind model design and learn more about that. Okay, but we got Fidelity, we got BlackRock, we have some of the other ones mentioned. This is going to happen. They want this money. They're just trying to make sure they know how to make it the best thing for them. But whether or not they want that volume, they want that volume for sure. So let's go ahead and continue. So we cover that. We got the Bitcoin rainbow chart. Make sure you guys tap in with that. Make sure you guys give me a follow at Rico Moneybags. It's loading up right now. Tap in on this link right here, the Rico Moneybags Mansion. This is the Moneybags Mansion is gonna be a lot of fun. People are gonna print in here. I'm gonna pull every string I got to make this valuable for everybody during this bull market and then bull run. So big shout out to the Vegas Inu community. See some of you guys in the chat. This is something that we drew up on the last video. If you did not see the last video on the Vegas Inu community token, you guys should go check it out. But this community is live. They host spaces on Saturdays, I believe 7 p.m. Central. So make sure if you guys want to feel the vibe of that community, you guys tap in with that. And we see our support and resistance areas that we're at. I drew this on the chart the other day when I made the video about the billboards going up in Las Vegas. There's currently a few billboards up, but there's going to be some more billboards coming up in Vegas that I'm very, very bullish on. Okay, keep that in mind. I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say I'm very bullish on. In the last video, I started to give away some alpha that maybe I should have held on to, but it's coming out. Okay, there's going to be more billboards and it's going to be in the right places and in the right time. So we got this push. We got a price that we're going to be looking at that 83.02. That is for the Vegas Inu community, the Vegas Inu token. Their website, let's go to their website. That's vegasinewtoken.com, where you guys can purchase Vegas Inu token. They do have the API from Volt, so you are burning Vegas Inu token and Volt at the same time. If those who are Volted, you can support Vegas Inu and Volt at the same time by purchasing off their website at Vegas Inu token. Next, we have PMPY. I've been doing videos on PMPY. Pablo Crow got me pumped up on this. Power has me pumped up on this. And this community has me pumped up. We did also some technical analysis on this one. This one continues to rise up, sitting at 11.8 market cap. Another live community. And they have great reasons why to be live. They're going to be talking about, they're going to be talking about a layer 2 AI blockchain, and they have the opportunity to be the first of its kind, the first mentioning this. So this is some good stuff for the PMPY community that we keep climbing. I had drew some support and resistance, but right now we'll just draw something up really quick for this community. Those who are Bitcoiners, I know this algorithm called you this for the Bitcoin and the title, but I want to bring up some DeFi projects that you guys can check out as well and catch some X's on. Okay, so on MEXC, it already hit 2 cents. Right now we're sitting at 1.5, a little over 1.5 cents. So let's keep that in mind with moving forward, that we're going to be going towards that 2 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, potentially $1, especially with some of the utilities coming out, the revenue that they have, the revenue structure that they have for the future, and what they're going to do with that revenue as far as buybacks and burns. That's going to make the supply a lot smaller, creating that price impact, right, in a positive way. And last but definitely not least, come over here and give Feg Token a follow at Feg Token. Make sure the bell notification is lit. This is one of the biggest communities that I rocked with. And of course, I want you guys to see all the tech that is coming out. I got videos coming out back to back as far as Feg Token's Smart DeFi Launchpad, the staking, how to stake, how to buy Feg Token. This is your opportunity to get in on this one before this one continues to climb. If you're part of the Feg army, come over here, like and retweet everything. Leave some bullish comments down below of the projects you're bullish on, or the next videos I should make on what project it should be. If it's Feg Token, more videos. If it's the Vegas Inu community wants more videos. Is it the PMPY community, or is it a community member has a token that I haven't mentioned on the channel? If you guys have that down below, let me know in the comments or in that TG, and we can talk about it and bring a video up. But there's going to be a lot of content coming out. There's going to be a lot of things that I want you guys to tap in. I can't say too much, but if you get into that Moneybags Mansion TG with this Smart DeFi Launchpad, Maybe you guys can read in between the lines. There's going to be a lot going on. I don't want you guys to miss out. Come over here, like and retweet everything going on. Let's check out what RTR Crypto had right here. FEG BSE is making a comeback. Observe its breakout on both 1 month and the 6 month chart. You got to zoom out sometimes. You really do. Realigning with its earlier trend line. So this is beautiful. Now we got FEG ETH. It's pumping on the 1 month view and returning to its previous trend on the 6 month. So we can see that right there. Let's go ahead and check this out. Big shout out to RTR Crypto and the team over there at FEG Token. I mean, really preparing themselves for this bull market and this bull run. This is something I'm super bullish on. You know, the FEG Army rocks hard with this channel, and I rock hard with them right back. So we can see some of this, you know, going right back to those same trend lines. Very exciting times. We can see where we were at one point, and now we're rising right back up. So this is all bullish. This is all stuff that's going to be coming out. Big shout out to FEG Bullish. We got Smart DeFi Launchpad. It will DeFi belief. It will DeFi belief, and it's for everyone. Groundbreaking code technology. All the code technology has been audited by PeckShield. Those tokens that launch on the Smart DeFi Launchpad will technically, officially be audited by PeckShield as well. It's the same contract that the FEG token is using right now. So you will have tokens coming out with already audited contracts. I think that's very bullish. So coded technology at your fingertips to launch your crypto dream, your tokenomics, our tech. The future for FEG token has never been brighter. I couldn't agree with you more. Big shout out to the team, this whole community rocking with me. You guys see the videos. This one, how to get FEG token trending on X. This is something that we're going to be seeing a lot more of. Shout out to the 73 people who liked this, the 27 people who retweeted it or re-xed it. Not sure what we're going to call it now, but the 4 comments, and the 3,200 people who viewed it. Let's engage as much as we can. Don't wait for things to actually start happening and say, I've been doing it since back then. It's like, nah. We got to do it from right now. We got to be part of this from right now. We see Bitcoin climbing and climbing at 44,000. What part of this rainbow chart are you finally going to say, it's in, it's happening right now, I'm ready to take off? Are you going to wait till after the halving, as we see that every time after the halving, it takes off? Or are you going to be, not financial advice, acting as smart money and just loading up DCA to make sure that you acquire one of these BTC at the very least? At the very least, one of these BTC. There's only going to be 21 million ever mined, and there's billions and billions of people on the earth. So the numbers right there should have you reacting like you need to do this right now. Now, do you want to wait to after the halving, you know, and be at a price of, let's say, so the buy zone right here, we're talking about you're going to buy at 82,000, double the price? Are you going to buy at double the price? Or are you going to start accumulating right now and acting like smart money? Are you going to wait for the ETF? What are you going to do? Let me know down in the comments below. We'll do more of these live streams to build up a recognition. We'll pick a time. Maybe I'll do something in the TG or on X where we'll do a poll. What time should I go live? So like that, I can get the most people in here as possible. We can talk about Bitcoin, ETH, DeFi projects, and whatever you guys would like to talk about. Just let me know. This channel is yours just as much as it's mine. Let's do some Bitcoin price prediction. Let's see where we're at. Let's break this down. Let's give the people what they want. Let's go down to the 4-hour chart. I'm going to get rid of this 200 moving average. I'm going to bring back one of my indicators that I like. This extraordinary. Okay. All right, let's drop the times down. Let's go down to the hourly chart. And we'll talk about where we're at right now. What zones to pay attention to. So we can see this support right here easily. We can see the resistance up here, right? So this is the channel that we're riding in right now. On the hourly chart, we are between 43,000. It's a good area to buy, and 44,550. If we break that 45,000 mark, we could potentially see 50K Bitcoin right around the corner. That's not that far away from this all-time high, and because that 45K is a psychological barrier. But we could potentially see a lot of sideways trading within this zone right here until we can get into there and break past the 45, most likely pull back like we always do, right? And then push right back above it, holding above the 45, and then having some type of continuation. Now, if we see a break down past this 43,000, we could potentially see this being our next area to be worried about or concerned about, or whichever way you want to talk about it. But and also the 42 too, okay? But we could see if we break down into these zones, if Bitcoin comes down and breaks down into the zone, we could see it holding above that 42, consolidating this way, trying to break back above. But if it broke down into that zone, the next zone will be 41, 402. So these are the areas that we could be looking at right now. Okay. There is a small channel right here that we're playing with. And that is right where we're at the 43K. But I would look more at this zone right here, because notice it tried to hold at that 43K and it still broke down. I would even potentially be more conservative and look at this, filling back up in this 42 zone, because this was a prior resistance, and prior resistance becomes future support. So that'd be a good zone to hang out in. We got these resistance right here. So finding support in that area again would not be far-fetched. Somewhere in this area, if you wanted to wait for a pullback, be a good pullback. I don't see Bitcoin pulling all the way back, crazy numbers where people are scared of crypto again. But I would potentially wait to this WT_X also had one of these green dots. Notice that when it did down here, I had these supports drawn out on the hourly chart. Those who got in from here had one heck of a ride all the way up to here, right? And it's not always 100%, because we can see it said to exit here. This is for gap and go trading. That's why it's set up like this, the settings. But, essentially you can gap and go, take profits, take profits, take profits, and until you believe that it's ready to turn all the way back around. So I'm going to cut this live short right here. This is just to start off, start warming it up on the live streams. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, have the bell notification lit up. There's going to be more videos coming out on Vegas Inu token, on PMPY, Pythium Prodigy token, and of course the FEG token. And every smart DeFi token that comes out is going to have a place to shake on YouTube, and that's going to be on this channel, manifesting you more money to make sure that you can at least acquire one of these BTC. Keep coming back. If you guys can't do that, continue to come back and experience abundance.